Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at this week's Sunday Preview. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Sunday Preview, the first wave of Old World made to order. After some incredible reveals from the Las Vegas Open and the next army of Warhammer the Old World, the wonders still don't cease. We've all been bathing in a warm bath of square-based nostalgia for the past few months. And soon the living rooms and gaming clubs of the world will once again ring out in cries of generals cursing charge rolls and consulting to hit tables. And now the first wave of made-to-order miniatures is mustering, with, for want of a better word, some real bangers on the slate. So there is a little video there. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the full article. So Warhammer the Old World. The following miniatures are all cast in metal, with a smattering of plastic horses where necessary, and will be available to order from 10 a.m. local time on Saturday the 27th of January on a made-to-order basis. They will only be available until 8 a.m. GMT on Monday the 5th of February, and your order may take up to 180 days to arrive. Alright, so we've got a little week and some change made to order for the rest of the models here. They're all going to be metal with potential of taking up to 6 months to arrive. So don't hold your breath on these if you need them for your army. So first we have the Bretonnian Lord on Pegasus. Lead your Pegasus Knights to the manor they deserve, with the mighty Bretonnian Lord coming in hot. This imperious character was first released as a hero in the late 90s, and may be armed either with a sword or lance. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we have a new hero on Pegasus model, so if you're after the old one, he is an option. Alright, and then next we have the Bretonnian Lords and Battle Standard Bearers on Warhorses. This trio of mighty heroes were first released in 2004. Sold separately, one is armed with a lance, one great weapon, while one bears a resplendent standard aloft. Their horses are plastic. Bretonnian Paladins on foot. This gaggle of knights on foot are here to do two things: add variety to your infantry regiments and drop the jaws of collectors. The feller with the hound crest is a knight of the realm sold individually, while the hero with the dragon crest is a grail knight sold individually. The other two are questing knights sold as a pair. All four date back to the early to mid 90s. Though the knight with the golden crest is the oldest, making his first appearance in the original Warhammer Quest. Yeah, this is a crazy old school model from Warhammer Quest. Very cool. Next we have the Damsels of the Lady. The knights aren't having all the fun. These two damsels are here to sling spells and lead your army of aristocratic hoodlums in prayer to the Lady of the Lake. They come as a pair and were first released in the mid-90s. So these are awesome, and then obviously the inspiration for the unicorn model, somewhere in between this one and the old cast unicorn. So very, very cool. Really, really nice models. These were some that held up really well and were definitely ahead of their time. Alright, and then for the Tomb Kings. These two Tomb Kings are sold separately. One comes with a hand weapon and shield, while the other gestures imperiously as he brandishes a great weapon. They were both originally released, we think, in 2003. So again, nice models here. This one holds up pretty good with some nice detail. And then we have the Liche Priests and Battle Standard Bearers. Also hailing from the original Tomb Kings, released way back in 2003, these set of Liche Priests and the Battle Standard Bearers come in pairs. Each pack contains one mounted character and one on foot, with plastic skeletal steeds. Remember that these will only be available for a limited time until 8 a.m. GMT on the 5th of February. So if you are after these guys, definitely don't mess around. Wow, the one on the horse holds up okay, but man, that one is rough. Alright, and then we've got the other ones here. And again, same thing, these are rough. Very cool though, definitely awesome of Games Workshop to bring them back for the people that are nostalgic, missed out on them, or just didn't know they ever existed. Alright, and then we have the Bleeding Stars and Other Stories from Black Library. Get a taste of the Black Library fiction with this 2024 store anniversary hardback, which contains 5 short stories: The Bleeding Stars by Robert Rath, Confessions of Pain by John Findell, The Wait, the Worm, and the Witch by Gary Kloster, Zograt by Andy Clark, and The Fields of Abundance by David Annandale. This book will be available at Games Workshop stores celebrating their anniversaries. Alright, so very cool. Definitely excited to see those pre-orders, and don't want anyone to get confused, but I'm going to go ahead and bunch this one in with those releases coming next week. These items are in no way, shape, or form coming next week. This was just a recent relevant Old World announcement. Old World Almanac, the Orc and Goblin Tribes. Today is the day many of you will first be able to tear off the cellophane and delve into the rich royal blue treasure chest. It's release day for Warhammer the Old World. Soon the world of legend will once again ring out with the rumble of hooves, the clamor of Khopesh on shield, and the sultry melodies of skeletons playing the horn. But we're not stopping at just 2 factions. There are 9 in total, receiving a mixture of new, remastered, and classic miniatures. They're all getting a lot. It's the Orc and Goblin tribes who are fastest on the trigger, and we can now reveal every single character, troop, monster, war machine to enter the range. Buckle up. Alright, so here is the Orc and Goblin Battalion box. The Orc and Goblin tribes are launching a massive battalion box alongside an arcane journal. The former contains 73 plastic miniatures, 2 orc boar chariots, 31 orc boys, including a champion, musician, and a standard bearer, and 40 goblins with command upgrades on their own. Each of these classic kits has options aplenty. There are lots of different heralds and shield patterns, while the orcs can have hand weapons or spears to go with their shields, and the goblins can be armed with short bows or spears and shields. And again, this is not in any way relevant to what's coming out next week and going up for made to order. This is just the initial announcement bundled in with this video. So very cool, 73 models in the new box, and as I suspected and discussed previously, it does look like the new box is going to come without the rulebook, so only the Tomb Kings and the Bretonnians will have that rulebook in it, and then from here on out, it's just going to be the actual boxed models. It's important to note that the Orc and Goblin Tribes battalion just contains miniatures. There are no rulebooks, dice, reference sheets, or other accessories found in the previous boxes. You'll find the roster for your budding Wa in the Ravening Hordes book. The Arcane Journal expands on the army list with plenty of lore, maps, and iconography, as well as 2 new special characters, 2 armies of infamy, the Nomadic Wa and the Troll Horde, and a great fistful of extra rules for use in your armies, including magic items, spells, and units like the Troll Hag. Alright, so we see the Arcane Journal, Orc and Goblin Tribes. Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now, back to the video. On top of that, there will be a deck of cards and dice for budding war bosses available while stocks last. So here are the new miniatures. Very, very cool. There's 2 new fabulous new models for the Orc and Goblin tribes, a fearsome black orc war boss brandishing a great weapon, and a deeply weird orc shaman, Ogdrul Swampgiga, a new named character found in the Arcane Journal. Both are cast in forgeworld resin. So very unfortunate that these are going to be cast in forgeworld resin. Really nice looking model right here. He's literally like busting off that base. Very cool. And then, man, this is awesome. That is just too bad this is going to be in forgeworld resin. If this was in plastic, I would 100% buy it. And I would totally use this in my kruleboyz army. Very, very cool. That shaman with like the troll head. That's awesome. Little grot buddy. That's great. This is an amazing model. Too bad it's in resin. Man. And then returning plastics. There are plenty of returning plastic kits from the most recent era of Warhammer Fantasy Battles. These are all exactly as you remember them. They'll be sold in larger number boxes than were before. So very cool. Definitely some nice looking stuff right here. Big chunky boxes with loads of infantry coming out there. You can definitely see the datedness of these models where they're like all in the exact same pose almost. Look at these boars compared to the new ones. Man, this stuff is so dated. It's cool that it's coming back though. These are the orc bosses. The orc boyz mob, the orc boyz and error boys mob, the orc boar boys mob, the orc boar chariots, and the black orc boys mob. Man, that's a mouthful. Plus the goblin mob, the night goblin mob, the goblin wolf rider mob, who are coming a little later. Several kits are returning in forgeworld resin. These orcs and goblin command sets will also be joining the troll hag and bone grinder giant. So very cool, nice models. These actually hold up really nicely. Very, very cool. Gotta love that. Definitely the inspiration for some of the current range stuff. Really, really nice models here. Several kits are returning in forgeworld resin. These orc and goblin command sets will also join the troll hag and bone grinder giant. Certain other miniatures have been remastered and are changing medium from metal to forgeworld resin. The orc warboss on wyvern and the orc and goblin giant. So really cool, the troll hag right there, very nice. And then we've got the orc wyvern, super cool. All right, and then returning medals. A real green tide is returning in metal. However, the goblin shamans, bosses, nasty skulkers, and lava above will be joined by the following other miniature packs. So we've got goblin bosses, goblin wolf rider bosses, goblin bolt thrower, goblin doom diver catapult, goblin wolf chariot, orc shaman, orc shamans, orc biggins command, snotling swarms, snotling pump dragon, common trolls, and classic ogres. Alright, and then finishing up here, we have made to order. On top of all that, there'll be a hand-curated selection of made to order orcs and trolls for true connoisseurs, including none other than the fabled Marauder Giant, who, like all others in this tranche, are returning in metal. Alongside him, there are Orc Shaman on War Wyvern from 1993, 2 sets of classic Stone Trolls, the classic River Trolls, and classic Orc Big Boss and Axe and Shield. We'll have more information on when these Emerald Avalanche is pre-order in the future. Okay, so all of the Orc and Goblin stuff we just looked at, just in case you missed it, is not coming this week. We just grouped that in because it was kind of a short little reveal for this week's actual pre-orders. So only the initial stuff we talked about is up for pre-order this week, and it is that limited window. But very cool. Definitely seeing a lot of love for the old world as far as Games Workshop is concerned. We'll have to see how much actual interest there is and how long it is before people are actually playing this game. I would imagine it's going to take a while to actually ramp up if you're playing anything other than Bretonnians or Tomb Kings, unless you already have your army from back in the day. So let me know what you're most excited about, what you're looking forward to, what you're going to be picking up from the made to orders coming this week, which of the greenskins or their friends you're looking to pick up when they come out at an undisclosed date in the future. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. Special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the video. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and it is crazy seeing a throwback to some of these old models I never thought I would see again. And I'm out of here.